Hello traders, this is a DAX recap video for Thursday, September the 19th, and as said yesterday, we need to have the FOMC in the rear window to get some better moves and to have better day trading opportunities. And finally, we are having both ECB and FOMC in the rear window, and today we got classic day trading setups. So one was right from the open, and the another one was a bit later, all in time, and for that first few hours to be really productive when traders are more focused than usual. So it is a natural thing that we are going to be focused and well rested at the open. And later, as time goes by, traders can lose focus after 1, 2, 3 p.m. So this is today a good example how a good day trading day can look like. So for today, again, we had this 365 to 375 zone active here, and we got a level, just a level here, for yesterday RTH low, which was a yesterday low also on 352. I said in the morning notes about in this first part about this range that we are still in the range from 300 to 500, and today is 7th day in it, and we didn't leave that range, so that basically means that tomorrow likely we are going to be in that range again, unless market makes a gap up overnight, which I think that is a low odds scenario, but never say never, right? So previous cash close 390 likely to be tested. First supports this zone and RTH low level from yesterday on 352. Bullish setups here could be false breaks below these references, and that is exactly what we got right from the open. Now note that morning plan like this plan can prepare you in advance, and some setups can be predicted and prepared in advance, but you need to be really good in reading the market in real time. Now today wasn't so hard, and some of the setups could be prepared like this one and also the next one, because this better resistance zone, this here, this is a zone around a level from larger time frames. You know that 240-minute charts, because you're getting that chart very often with this chart, and that is a level on 460, and the zone is below that level because that is a zone of resistance. And I said that it was tested here in the pre-market session, but it can produce a reaction in the RTH session also, and that gap at 469 still unfilled can act as resistance, and it did. And to keep focus about this faster tempo and better moves, we got that. That could be a tell that break attempt is coming. So break attempt is coming. It didn't came today because today we got better day trading moves, but not exactly a strong and sustained momentum. We got today a range of around 110, 120 points, which is not all that much, but again much better than just 55 points that we got the other day. Now let's go to the charts. I have just replaced color of this line to black, this yesterday RTH low, so we want to mix it with the pre-market low or pre-market high, for which usually I use this orange color. So pre-market low was made at 8:42, close to the open, and pre-market high was made here between 2 and 3 a.m. And I will switch now to the 1 minute chart just to observe this first setup. As said in yesterday video and many times before, this is a classic bullish setup. Yesterday RTH low, market starts open is here, so open this was the opening candle, and they didn't fill the previous cash close. They opened like 2 points below it. So that is just an indication that that previous cash close is going to be filled, because market is, you know, diddling here half of pre-market, and then on the open they just moved lower through the pre-market low, through this support zone, and just tested the yesterday RTH low, basically making here a false break of mere 2 points. This, and then later they moved higher. So if you were quick enough, this just test of the yesterday RTH low and seeing that the price just pierced it for 2 points, here is your entry. If you missed that, however, this is also false break of this zone and false break of the pre-market low, and you can enter here, or alternatively even here above pre-market low. And we know from previous videos that once market is back, swiftly back inside pre-market range, now we get the exact same setups like on US markets. It's just copy paste that setup, meaning that our target is pre-market high, and pre-market high is where? Right at our better resistance zone. So this is our target here, to go here, to drive this trade into this zone, front running it, because we know from morning notes about this 410 to 425, it was tested before and still market reacted here. Now if you are not in this trade, if you missed this trade, now we are in this period of time, market is already like here, you see market, okay, market reacting from this zone, this here, this pullback toward the previous cash close, now they filled it, they filled the gap and still use this reference as a launching point for this bounce. And this was the first pullback after you observe, hey, this is a false break, false breakdown below pre-market low and below this zone for just testing yesterday RTH low, and even there they made the false break of these 2 points. Likely market is going higher. I missed all of this. I could go long here because this was the reaction, this was the first test, this here. Now we are skipping this zone. Market already moved through it in pre-market, already made several tests of this zone, like was said in the morning notes. And this here, these reactions from this zone was enough here and here yesterday. So that is enough of this zone. Now we are targeting this here. And you are out of your trade, but sellers could get in here. Both buyers and sellers should know that after a false breakdown below pre-market low, target is pre-market high. Responsive sellers are going to react. This is the pre-market high, this is the zone, better zone of resistance. Now your reaction is here. If you missed that, price is going back to your entry, now more cautious. But this is again what? False break. This is now false break. This here, false break above pre-market high, and again testing this same zone. Better zones can be tested a few times. And now we have this, another test, but also a false break above pre-market high, and our entry is here. Once we observe that price is backing inside, so here, this is a lack of strength. Buyers cannot push the market higher into this zone, and now we are selling this. Again, what are now traders doing in this period of time? What is that traders should do here? Traders should grab a fib and make a fib of all of this move for both parties to see where this move could end. Of course, it could be just a total reversal, but unlikely to see this. For seeing this, you would need to see from here strong downside momentum to get that. Otherwise, if a good pullback from here is the case, market could just consolidate and stay below this zone. that wasn't the case. They moved higher later. But at this period of time, you cannot know that. In this period of time, all that the day trader is thinking here is, hey, this is a high of the setup. This is my chance to grab a 2-hour trade. Because if this is a false breakout above the pre-market high here, then market shouldn't really go higher than this for a trade. 20-point stop, 40-point target, just mechanically taking 2R. That is here a very doable thing to do, because from 440 market only needs to go to 400. And now you're drawing a fib to see, is this possible? What do you need? Okay, 38.2 is there, 410, this is for 30 points. Halfback is here around 400. It could be doable. So there it was a doable thing to squeeze a trade of a 2R or close to the 2R. So like closing here, but even if this could be enough for taking like 30 points, because by this move, because market just dipped and then moved higher from here, from this point of in time, which is 9:30, buyers were showing dominance here. They retested the yesterday RTH low, moved just 2 points below it. Lack of weakness. Here it was lack of immediate strength to go immediately higher, but it was just a pullback. And now, after all of this, there are traders that missed everything or they want to trade more, and now we are observing what the market is doing here, and you could observe again with this fib and other references that market is holding on a halfback. 61.8 is very close to the previous cash close. Market holding above previous cash close a few points and on a halfback, and this is yet another alternative way for buyers here to go on a long side. Even here, after all of this, even this was a doable entry, this time targeting this gap, because this moves like banging the resistance, shallow pullback, bang again, bigger pullback, bang again, making marginal high, shallow pullback, going again. But all of this means they want to go higher. There is no some strong momentum, but they want to go higher. They want to make higher highs, making these shallow pullbacks. That is the tell that they want to make higher highs. So if you want to fade this, a zone was already tested here. This was the first and second test, which was a false break above the pre-market high setup. So not anymore selling of this zone. Now sellers, move your orders higher to fade this, and final trade could be this, fading the gap itself. But this is just for a small number of points, and it is here very questionable. Are you going to trade this at all or not? Because this came at 5 p.m. very close, time for the RTH close. So not exactly a time to expect anything much from DAX at 5 p.m. So these setups here, to take this first pullback, this drop that was just to retest the support, classic bullish setup, and this here fading the first test of a zone, or taking that same entry as a setup of a false break of pre-market high, was trades of a day. And all of this is, you can skip all of this. Basically, you can skip all of this. This here looks like it's really was for a good amount of points, but this here needs you to understand the context, to understand that buyers are dominant, to make a fib and to make all sort of conclusions, but these two were prepped in advance. So all you need here is to execute, not be afraid to execute on this kind of setups. And again, about this is very, very common, and I always show you this here about springs. This is from book Trades About to Happen by David H. Weiss. I don't have that book in PDF format, but you can Find it. It's very cheap on Amazon. You can use buy a used one or a new one, whatever. He said here you can make a living by trading springs and upthrust, basically false breaks. These are very common setups, very high odd setups. So think about this. This is a very good book, and today again and again and again we got these false breaks setups, and this is not the the last time that we are going to get them. So this is a very important thing for a trader to have in his own arsenal, to have this knowledge about false breaks, to develop an eye for that, to feel for that, to see and to feel them in advance as a possibility, and once they happen, to be decisive, to react and to go with it. Buy here, sell here, those kind of false breaks. So this is it for this edition of DAX recap videos. Finally we got a better movements, and hopefully more to come. I wish you a good trading and good night.